Hi, Fräulein. I'll be painting in a little while. I'm just... oh, hi, cutie. I'll be painting soon. I'm just showing you some stuff I've done before. Would you believe this is my first live? I just reached 1,000 followers, so I'm excited to share what I can. My typical thing to talk about on TikTok really is parenting tips for preschool age children. But hi Jocelyn, hi Aisha, if I'm reading right. I'm just showing you some artwork I've done before I do start painting. And hopefully some of you can paint along. In the past, I've been using artist grade paper, but for today it will be student grade paper. Here's some painting techniques I've done in the past with other students. So as you can tell, I do, well, just because of these, I do classes, and we do a lot of understanding the techniques before we start. So anyways, thanks for coming on. And if you'd like to paint along, please do. I am about to start. So today I'll be using possibly Tropicals, Essence, Odyssey. These are from Art Philosophy. Watercolors. They were formerly called Prima watercolors, and then I bought this off a lady in a Facebook Marketplace, and I bought a set of paints. So far it's been more than a year, and I've tried very hard to use it up as much as I could, but this is still alive and well. Each of these smaller palettes are in Philippine pesos anyway. It's 1,500. Okay, and I've had them maybe for 2 years. They're still going on strong. Notice I don't clean up the palette, because this is, if I have 12 colors here, I have 1,000,000 colors here. The nice thing about watercolor is that it gets reconstituted, or you can re-energize the paint by just adding water to the palette, and that's what I will be doing in a little while. So I've got the tropical set. This one still always, well, has 12 colors, but again, if you keep the palette colors alive here, you'll have more. Okay, I'm just setting up right now. I'll be spending maybe not an hour, but close to it, making one of my wreaths. And if you were able to join right away, I had shown these. So these are the things that I like to paint. Wait, let's pull them out. So I like wreaths. For me, watercolor wreaths relax me. They are my go-to designs. These are for me. I don't sell them, I give them away. But if you guys would like the one I'm painting, you'll have to let me know, right? So anyways, here we go. These are just some of the, and I've got tons of them. I have more that are hiding somewhere. Anyways, I'll move these aside and I will start painting. Things I do have beside me are my container of water. Wait, where should I place this? Okay, to my right. I also have tissue paper. And even if I have 3 brushes with me, I tend to just use one, at most 2. Okay, so I've got the silver black velvet in size 8. It's round. Okay, I've got silver black velvet in 6. My 6 is my go-to brush. I tend to use this a lot and take it everywhere I go. So that's a good thing. And I have a mop brush. So this is for loading lots of color, lots of water, or lifting. I'll tell you more about lifting later. And here, this is a 3/0, and it's a Raphael mop brush. I tend to hold them in the left hand while I paint with the right. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start with my 8. Add water to it. You won't see it, probably will hear it. And I will start with flowers. Okay, my flowers are nice and easy. I call it side swiping. It's almost like a C stroke, but not quite. All I really do is use the side or the broad side of my brush, and all I do is swipe. Okay, oops, did you see that? Okay, and having swiped, you don't see much, but I will continue building on the flowers by side swiping about what, five petals. And then if the shape doesn't match or get painted the way I want to, I will just manipulate the paintbrush to give me a better size. And then maybe this one not as big as the rest. Not all the flowers are from the top view. Now, having placed that there, I tend to add another color while it's wet, so that technique is called wet on wet. So I'm going to place, oops, my paintbrush is not as wet as I would have wanted it to be. So take 2. Okay, so while that's wet, I'm adding, as you can see, when you add 2 wet petals like this, and you're dropping color, the color will find its way around the shape. I hardly need to do anything to the painting. Okay, the colors will blend on their own, and I will leave that. Now, I do have brown on my paintbrush tip, so I will work with that. Another thing you need to know about watercolors is that you learn actually how to be patient, because there are parts that are still wet, and so you have to let go. You have to leave that behind and move on to another section of the paper and work on that. Concentrate on something else while the first part is drying. Now, once you think it's ready to be painted on, that's called glazing. You put another color on top of the first color. Okay, so I'll leave that alone and I'll work on some other part. I'll turn the paper around. Okay, I'm still using my size 6 brush, and let's go to something more colorful. Okay, I'm going to go with the number 2 color in the tropical palette of, for those who just arrived, I'm using this one. Okay, so I'm using the Tropicals palette of Art Philosophy, and I'll use the number 22. It's pretty fuchsia-ish for me. And let's go paint a rose. So for those who don't know how to paint a rose, all you need to do, oops, there's that little piece of something at the tip. Let's clean that up. We don't need things like those mucking up our painting. Okay, so for here, we will use C strokes. C strokes are letter C's. We start, see that? Haha, letter C. Anyways, I will be building on this. So if you know Ole Cassini, it's 2 letter C's inside each other. Maybe I start with something like that. Okay, this portion of the paint is very pigmented, meaning it's full of the color that I wanted. So to make that letter C, the tips I lift while I'm dragging the paintbrush. I just what's the word for it? I lay it flat so the bristles spread out. Now, I've just added water to my paintbrush, so it's going to be a little watery now. And I'll just keep going round and round as I add more color. I'm sorry, as I add more water to the paintbrush, not pigment, okay? And I'll just go around using the same C stroke. Maybe I'm dragging a bit of the paint to another part of the paper, and that's okay. Okay. So maybe I can move my paper around instead of me adjusting. This way I can figure out the shape that I want, and the shape, well, is rounded, as round as I can go. And I'm trying to be alternating in terms of where the brush goes. And remember, it's still a C stroke, so I place it down and lift it in the corners just like this. Okay, and I move on. Now I turn my paper around again, and I just keep building. As a painter, I guess your goal or your mission is to figure out when to stop, or when to add color, or when to add water. Okay, an editor, I guess, in a publishing house knows when to add those punctuation marks and so forth. So, hi. Okay, now I'm looking. Hi, Art Geo. I don't. Okay, you guys have to tell me, what do you mean by what's a co-host? For those who have just arrived, this is my first time to go live. So if you'd be nice enough to tell me what being a co-host entails, and if it's something that I should do for you, then let me know. Okay, so I see lots of people wanting to be co-hosts now, or to go live together. My hands are actually tied, so I'm not pressing any buttons. Not necessarily for my safety, but just because. Okay, so I will leave that rose behind, and I'll keep going around my paper. For those who have just arrived, maybe I should show you a sample. There's one. Here's another one. So I go around the paper a lot. I go round and round, and I try to fill up the sections. Here, see? So as you can tell, I love wreaths. These are for me, and I tend to be able to attract a lot of students this way, though. I mean, I'm being honest about it anyways. Okay, back to my palette. I'm using some kind of orange. It's still the Tropicals palette. Wait, let me show you so we all know where we are at. Here we are. I'm using the Tropicals number 17. So it's a tangerine-ish kind of color. For those who have just come on board, hi. I'm Rosanne. I'm a teacher by mission. Okay, so here I go. This is what I call tamping. It doesn't look like anything for the moment, and it isn't actually, but it's going to be possibly a gladiola, or based on your interpretation, it can look like hydrangea. So what I did was I took away, sorry about that. I took away the pigment, and I just added water to my brush, and now I'm dabbing or tamping down. I'm pushing down. Okay, so it's going to have a roundish shape. I'll make it as round as I can. What I'm doing is I'm pretending the rest of the flower is behind the rose, and so I cannot make the same stroke every time I put my brush down. Otherwise, it will look like a pattern, and it will miss that intention of becoming a hydrangea-like design. Okay, so I'm actually loading my brush, the same size 6 round, with a darker pigment near brown, but I'm mixing it with the original tangerine. Now, what I plan to do is tap. Okay, so there's a little brown now. And this way I get a little darker, a darker shade on my hydrangea. I'm going to return to this later on because if I do it now, then I will be able, what all I'll be doing is mixing the colors together, and I wouldn't want that. So just in case you've come on just now, hope you can follow me. Anyways, I'm not doing the one that is on top. It's just that I have one placed on top so you can see what I tend to do. Okay, maybe every few minutes I'll add another sheet. How's that? So you can see what I've been up to these last years. Okay, I started painting as an accident, if you can call it that, because somebody gave me a 36 palette. It was a Symbolion watercolor set. Not very expensive, and that's okay. It was because, so wait, I'm moving to another part of the paper because that area is still wet and I don't want my arm to brush against it and ruin what I've done so far. So this is how some painters do it too. They budget their time and they figure out where they're needed. So for me, painting, oh, did I just lose track of my conversation, my train of thought? Sorry about that. Painting really is for relaxation on my end. If I can be a little philosophical about things, it allows me to be more forgiving of myself, because there will be portions that could have been better. There are portions that I miss, or what's the word for it? Portions that I make mistakes in, and then I realize, yeah, painting is for me. This is all for me. I'm not giving it away unless you guys want it. And if you do, let me know, comment, and I can give away the paintings. It's really a source of joy for me just to paint. What more if I give it away and you guys do something with it, right? So I'm adding C strokes here and there just to round out this painting, and all I'm doing is adding water to my paintbrush. No pigment. The pigment is going away as I keep adding water. So I'm moving the paint around because some parts are not as nice as I would have wanted them to be. Okay, as you can tell, roses, or flowers for that matter, tend to be darker in the center than the rest of the flower. Okay, so I'm going to move. Maybe for those who are, well, in the Philippines we call it OC, ok, just to say that, you know, if you are very obsessive about completing something before moving on, let me add triangles to the tips of these petals. Oh, and they're kind of dark and super pigmented. Let me just water it down. So I'm tamping the see that I'm if the paint is still wet, the paint or the water, which the nature of is to find other water molecules, it is going to mix, but not so bad. I don't mind the colors mixing. Maybe I'll just add more green to the tip and let it find its way in. Haha. Okay, so if you're obsessive compulsive, as I was saying, and you want to see a completed painting or flower, that's going to happen in maybe more than 30 minutes from now. But I will complete this rose so that you have something pretty to look at while I do the other parts of this flower. For those who just arrived, hi, I'm Rosanne. I'm a preschool teacher, and pretty much a mindful coach. Okay, so I think I was talking about forgiveness because I practice learning how to forgive my mistakes when I paint and I make a mess out of what I'm doing. So practice is the key to a lot of things. Okay, I don't like what's happening right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a piece of tissue and remove, okay, the mess that I made. Maybe not as successfully, but that should be okay. So maybe I should add another sheet to the pile. Here's another thing you can enjoy looking at while I continue on with my wreath. Okay, as I said, I'm holding two colors in my hands, two paintbrushes on my left and another paintbrush on my right. I'm cleaning off the color green, and maybe let's be not surprising, but let's just add it's called emotion. I'm going to add some, it's not even Tiffany blue, is it? It's just blue to my my growing or my wreath. So this is a side swipe. I used the broad side of the brush to make very rounded petals, and I'm going to hide the rest of the petals underneath this flower. Alrighty, and I'm going to move. Oh, I think this one needs to be built a bit taller to match the other petals, and I'll leave that behind. But before I do, maybe I can drop in a dark blue. So there's a tinge here and there. I don't want to go near the green because if I did, I might just mess that up. So since I have blue on my paintbrush, I'm going to find the spot and side swipe. Okay, so these are small flowers, and maybe a little water might help. So just added water. For me, watercolor should be more about water, not color. And the closer you are to transparent, that gives the viewer a feeling of color white. White is not typically a color that we paint. We leave spaces behind to denote white. Okay, so now I'm dropping a dark blue, and I'll let the water mix it. I'm going to leave it behind, and I am going to move on. I'll turn the paper around. Maybe I should have blue here. So I'm just going to finish whatever's on my paintbrush. There's still a lot, in fact, so I'm just going to water it down, and I'm going to make these blue petals hide or peek, however you want. If it's hiding or peeking, they're peeking from another flower. Okay, I can fix the shape while it's wet, and that's a good part. So I'll move on. So you guys, if you can follow me and like my work, I would be most appreciative. Okay, so maybe I should add a yellow. So let's make this a rainbowy wreath. I'm not following any particular color palette now. I'm just mixing whatever I like to use for today. So I guess you can call this a okay, that's really yellow. I will add a little used up orange to diffuse, if I can call it that. Okay, there. How's that? So there's a little. Okay, so these petals are longer than the rest. I'm going to just add water. Okay. This is supposed to help me with my focus. I'm a teacher, but I realize my focus isn't all there. I could be an undiagnosed ADHD student myself, but I'm trying to recognize that my mind is flying everywhere, and that's okay. So as long as you're aware, I guess you're better off than those who aren't. Okay, so I fixed the petals to form the shape that is okay to me, and I'm going to drop orange here near the center and let it find its way elsewhere. Okay, so I have spotted flowers here and there, and I'll just keep going. Are you guys from the Philippines where I am, or you're all from every corner of the earth? Okay, I'm mixing stuff right now. Hi. Okay, let's see. Let me add or change the wreath on top, just to let you know what this painting could become soon enough. Okay, this is tangerine. Very orange, but let's forgive ourselves for the not mixing the colors or anticipating the colors. Yeah, let's just enjoy that we do have a new color from an otherwise normal colored palette. Okay, colors are mixing. We will leave that alone. Any requests? Anything that I should know, since this is my very, very, very first live on TikTok? Okay, let's see. I'll move a bit here. So I'm leaving that behind so it can dry on its own and I don't mess it up. And let's add the same color here, only watered down. If there's something about my technique that you would like to know more about, let me know. And if I can catch it, I will answer as best as I can. Okay, so today, since you guys aren't asking anything, I'm just going to keep at painting my wreath for today. Oh, thanks. I see a comment calling my stuff nice. Thanks. And because of that, let me change the wreath on top with another one I've done before. Okay, so that's how it goes. You build slowly. It doesn't look anything spectacular right now, but in the end, it comes out that way. So I guess seeing a goal overhead makes you realize that, you have to wait. You have to figure things out. You have to let the process speak for itself. Okay, so I'm pulling out the Odyssey palette. And I'm going to choose... I mixed the colors around, didn't I? How about what seems to be Dubai? Okay, Dubai is I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Oh, that was a cough. I could not tell the difference. When it was warning me, I was about to feel it. Okay, so Dubai is some brown color, and what will I do with it? Okay, let's try. Ooh, it's like almost a red, but not quite a red. So I'm rediscovering color palettes. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull on the paintbrush to make this type of petal. Okay, nothing great, but I will build on it. Which means I'm going to just keep going until the first layer dries, and then I'll add to it. Okay, remember the color is Dubai. Okay, I'll leave that because that is for another time. That layer has to dry so I can glaze. Okay, and I'll keep going. Now, what does it mean to invite? You go on my page and as a co-host. Oh, thank you for the like. Thank you. Okay. Oh, okay. It's AJ. Hi. Okay, so I'm painting live because I finally can. And this is for relax. Oh my gosh, it's so pink. Wait, let me just tone that down. Okay, I am now adding water to my paintbrush, and I'm just going to lift colors from this pink because it's just too bright. Okay, and that's how you fix your mistakes somehow. Thank you for the love. So Sunday is all about relaxing. No, that's not true. I have work later, but this is the calm before the storm. Okay. So this is an oddly shaped 5-petaled flower. That's okay. Let me add a dark there. I'm going to just temper that very neon pink. I didn't think it was that neon to my eyes. And I'll just keep moving. So the middle portions of these flowers will be revealed much later in the game. Now let me add a color called Creation. It's a violet color. Okay, I'll move this away. What did I just paint? I painted on something. Furniture. Okay, there. I kind of had to be away for a moment. Okay, moving on. Let's draw another rose here. Okay, so this is going to lighten up as I keep going. And all I need to do is just add water. Okay, so C strokes are just that, letter C. Thicker when you lay down your paintbrush, thinner when you lift it and end up with a point. Okay. More water. And later, I can go back to the center portion and just darken it. Okay, why later when I can do it now? Okay, let's do it now. And now we do the center and we add more of the color Creation. Okay. And leave it. Okay. And this way the color dries on its own. Okay, I'll keep going. So I tend to do wreaths that are busy. I don't like leaving spots. I don't like leaving areas that need not redoing, but areas. I don't like empty spots. It seems like I'm not being mindful of all the space that I do have. Okay, so moving on. The side swipe type of petals are in action right now. Okay, so I'm just figuring out where the petals are at. If especially I am painting beneath or underneath another flower. Okay, I'll keep going. Maybe I should add another wreath option above. Okay, so things happen. I'm going to turn the paper around so I don't mix up or don't create an accident in that area. Okay, I'm just building. Okay, this is going to be another kind of purple, just so it has more purple on the paper. I'll put, ooh, it kind of got mixed with the little green. And it is a dark gray. Okay, that's fine. We can work with it. We will rock it. Okay, you work with what you have. And that's what painting gives me. The idea that I can. Hashtag. Okay. I'll try to make it go back to blue or purple. And let's just keep playing. Okay, here we go. Okay, it lightened up a bit. We can work with this. Who's this? Somebody's asking me to go live together. I don't know what that means. Sorry. I have, what's the term for it? I'm new at going live on TikTok. So if somebody can tell me what it entails. And by the way, I have to be careful because I just realized that there are some people, when you invite them over, this much I know, and I don't know them, they may just show body parts. I've read reports about that, so I'm being careful. I want to make sure my first live is something I can look back at and enjoy. Okay, so anyway, lots of side-swiped watercolor petals. And if you would like to follow me, I would be very, very grateful. And see, thank you, AJ. I am that much, I know. Okay, so if you'd like to follow me, I'm Teacher Rosanne on TikTok. I actually talk about preschool teacher tips, and they usually apply to kids until about grade 3, grade 4, because basically, it's all about early childhood education. And I've been teaching since 1994, so that's about 26 years. And I have a lot to say, or at least a lot of experience to go with the TikToks that I've created. So for those, whoa, I love your painting. Oh, thank you. You are Labadu 12354. Thanks. And because of that, I'm going to add another past painting. This one's kind of how do I call that? Pastel-y. it's more pastel colors, and I tried working with it. Kind of light for my taste, but at least now I know. So I'll just keep going. Oh, thank you for the congratulations for the greeting. Yeah, I just what's this? I just hit 1,000 followers a few days, maybe 2 days, 1 day ago, 2 days. And I'm interested to see what happens when I go live. Will I get more likes, more followers? Let's find out. Okay, so anyway, here I go. I just added a color called Awake. So for those who are just waking up in the Philippines because it's lunchtime, congratulations, good job. Okay, because you guys, I am getting likes, yay, thank you. And okay, so I'm going to turn the paper around. Like I said, you need to shift locations. You have to move on. Otherwise, your hand might just swipe the wet stuff and ruin your initial work. And that has happened to me before. So we learn as we go. Okay, so I'm just going to keep going at this. And because of that, I am going to drop purple here. And, oh, thank you. I got the heart this time. Thanks. Okay, so I'm going... It's kind of hard painting and looking at the screen at the same time. But I will get the hang of it. Okay, I want to be interactive. I want to be able to talk to you guys. Okay, let's move. I'm going to use the color called Unite. And I'll go here. Okay, it's brownie. It's brownie. Let me just then water it down. I don't like super browns, especially when the next picture beside it is very light. So I'm just going to pull. When I say pull, I'll use the first petal or the pigment from the first petal, like so. And I'm just going to move it around on the page. Okay, since the rose and the leaf and this side swipe petal are dry, I can glaze. That means I can paint on it without the colors mixing with each other. Okay, so I will leave that behind. I'll turn the paper around again and I'll look for another spot. Okay, let's see, what color should I add? It's nothing great yet. Everything happens later on when we're nearing the finish line. Okay, so let's see. Ooh, I see a color called Earth. So it has a little tinge of muted gold. Maybe I'll go back to the Dubai in a little moment, but I'll add the... Yeah, so you can't see it right now, but this brown has a little gold flecks in the paint. Okay, and because of that, bleh. Okay, wait, let's see what we can do. I'm going to just add water and fix the edge this way. Okay, hopefully. And I'm elongating all the other petals. There, I muted it somehow. And when I do that, I leave it alone because it's very wet. Oh yes, I said I was going to go back to Dubai. Where are you, Dubai? Here you are. Let's continue with the petals now that these are dry. Okay, so you'll notice I pulled right away and I stayed on, and that way you see that there's a pool of color here, and let's see if we can do something about that. We will just go a little faster. Okay, we'll just go around. We will do the center later on, because if we do it now, the colors will just mix into each other and we won't get to appreciate the center color. I'm leaving a spot, well, guess where? In the center, just to make sure that the center gets undivided space. Okay, I might as well roughen up the edges since the other edges aren't as great. So while it's wet, let's play. Okay, so let's make it seem that everything is by design and not a mistake. Okay, maybe just color these areas. So I'm pulling since there's still paint on my brush, and that's why I love good or high quality brushes, is that they can hold a lot of paint, and you really want that. Hi, for those who've joined, welcome. I'm building on a page, and the page should have a pretty wreath by the end of it. Let's add another sample. Here's another sample that you can imagine my page becoming in a little while. Okie dokie. Before you go, kindly say hi. And before you go, let me know how I can improve on this. Well, then again, don't go. There's still a lot of improvement to be had, and it doesn't happen all at the same time. Okay, I'm changing my palette. Let's see what I can play with. Let's play with another kind of purple. So this purple is a little bit more what's the word for it? A little bit more alive than the first one, that one. And to show you, I'll go a little close. I'll do it here. Side swipe. Okay, or maybe I'll come closer. Why am I giving myself a hard time? Okay, so here I go. And let's just build a heck. I can go on top. As I said, if it's dry, I can glaze. There. Okay, I'll leave that alone. I'll transfer to another part of the paper, and I'll keep going. Maybe I'll add a little blue. So maybe I'll do something like this one on this side, and I'll use the purple. Okay. And for those who have just arrived, hello. Wait, let's see if we can read. I see Marika Angelo, and I see Jasler. Hello. Okay, so anyway, back to the painting. When you work with watercolor, you're also working against time, because when that paint or when the water dries, okay, that's it. It will be hard to move paint around, especially if you have to move paint around. But if you don't, then yay. Okay, so having done that, I'm going to add pure color on top. Okay, let's see what we can do here. I'm going to go and use a color called Chant from the Essence. Let me show you. From the Essence palette, it's called Chant, and it's number 98. Okay, dokes. Let's see. Let's read that. Jasler. Okay, you were the last one so far. Oh, now I know what I've been doing. I've been painting things as I move my brush around. Okay, let's see where we can put you. Oh, here. It needs a tinge or a little excitement in yellow. Yellow brown. Okay, long petals. Just there. Doesn't need to look like anything in particular yet. And if I wanted to add other colors to it, I just drop a darker color and let the water do its magic. Okay, turning the paper maybe somewhere here. Let's add other kinds of blue. Okay, there's a blue here and it's called London. Hi London, let's play with you. Okay, London. Okay, I'm going to just put London on the palette, so I'm not and London's going to have big strokes and more water. And maybe a little black. Okay, that's black, folks. I'm adding, but I'm using student grade paper. That means my paper is not as thick. Why? Because when we closed down for the pandemic, it was what's this? It was imperative that I buy a lot of paper for teaching online and for my sanity. And so I have a lot to not waste, a lot to use, and I will just pretty much just keep using them. Okay, so it's been a while actually since I last painted a wreath. By the way, if you want to see other wreaths that I've painted, maybe I've painted more than 50. They're on my YouTube channel. Okay. So, I am turning my page. I actually like that dark blue. I'll keep adding that dark blue because it gives a pop of blue here and there. Okay, so blue here. Okay, so okay, because I'm curious, I'm going to ask Coach AJ. I know who Coach AJ is. He's actually a good friend. I'm going to invite him and let's see what happens when he does join. Okay, huh? What do you mean you joined already? I'm going to... I don't get it. Sorry. It says here invite and then joined. I'm confused. Okay, maybe I'll ask everybody later. I'll just keep going. Okay, let's see. I'm using a color called Eternity. Where can I place Eternity? It's a dark color, so I'm going to place it beside the yellow, so the yellow pops. Okay, so that's a trick. You're going to put not opposing but very stark colors together so you can see the other one better. Okay, there. See, it doesn't make sense, but hey, it makes yellow come out. And let's see what we can do now. I'm going to ask you, okay guys, what are courage points? I'm getting a message here that I need courage points. What could those be? Okay, let's see. Oh, let me show you another painting I did This one I hated. As in, hated, 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 hated. So what I did was, I inked it. I added an outline. And now I love it. Okay, so there are just some paintings that don't work well for you, or they just are blah when they end up, right? And so a few days later, I went back to it and I put an outline. And suddenly, I'm enjoying just staring at it. I don't know if you felt the same. If some of you are painters out there and you realize that, things could be better and you found a way to make it better. And that's the way I found. Okay, I'm playing around with the paint that's on the palette. And I will go to where the purple is. And I will see what color comes out. Oh, it's too close. Okay, I changed it to blue. So there's going to be a little, well, it's not even periwinkle, is it? Okay. So, hello, hi to the people who have joined. I'm almost not done, but I'm almost there. Maybe I've got 20% to go. And I am building another wreath. Oh, by the way, I number my wreaths instead of giving them titles. This wreath is somewhere in the 250, 260 something. I will double check. It's been 2 months or so since I last painted, so I can't even recall that much. And some paintings I paint online for my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel, by the way, is called Rosanne Araneta. And you can find me... Wait, let me just plug. You can find me... I have a .com. It's called RosanneAraneta.com. It's a clipboard, sorry. But short of having to type it or write it down, I just decided to show you. Okay, wait, let me just clean the other brushes I've been holding all this time but I have not used. Just going to lay them down somewhere so my left hand is free and available. Time out. So give me a moment, guys. Okay. So now it's time to come up with my leaves. And for the leaves, I need to start with a light color. And after the light color, I will lay down the darker ones. Hi, Cherry. Hi, Cherry. Welcome. Okay, so this is called Serenity. Yeah, it does look serene. Okay, I'm just loading the brush. This is how I load. Okay. Super load. Hi, Odessime. Okay, so for the roses, since we're doing it like a top view, I'm going to build a triangle here and there. Okay, and then I'm going to get my other paintbrush that's just white, or not white, sorry, just wet. I'm going to add water. Oh, that's a lot of water, sorry. Just going to add water and move the paint around, because if I use the other paintbrush, it would just be too pigmented. Okay, so okay, see that? Just a triangle. You don't have to do this. Your brush could be less pigmented and you just continue on with a triangle, but no, I'm doing it the hard way. I'm just being more practical. I just want to save the paint on the paintbrush. Okay, changing colors, a little darker for this one. Still a triangle. They tend to be anyways, that's why. Okay, that needs a little bit more paint in it. Okay, maybe this one's hiding. You guys can see, right? Okay. Okay, almost done. There we are for that one. Turn the paper around, and I will give you a tip, guys. So all the colors that I've left or that I'm not using, wait, let me show you. See the extra stuff? I'm going to mix them all, and when I do, guess what? They turn into green. And I'm going to use all these colors for the leaves because that's pretty much the second to the last part of the way I paint my wreaths. Okay. I'll just turn the paper around. Hi precious. Welcome to the party, to the painting party. Okay, maybe I should lift this and show you. So I'm just mixing the greens, and that way I come up with all sorts of green colors without wasting or adding new color to the palette. Okay, let's see, where can I put this? Maybe here. And okay, I actually like that kind of green. I'll do it here in the corner. Hold on, let me move this around, and I will bend it a little this way. And see, with just a little change in the angle of my brush, I end up with a new leaf species. Okay. And I'll just maybe add one more. There we go. And then I add a little blue to the mix. See that? A new leaf color. It's me, Steffi. Hi, Steffi. Okay, and a little brown. And maybe a leaf here. Okay, not so seen, but that's okay. A little green, and so all sorts of green. Add this and it becomes a little greener than brown. Okay, maybe here, let's make it look like a fern. How's that? Okay, just turn my page around. I have other greens, so I'll use these. Oh, that's black. Oh, that's purple. There, I think I got myself a hunter green by mixing all these colors, but let me add. Okay, there we go. That will last a while. And let's make that type of, okay. See, I keep turning the paper around. Get used to it. What I'm trying to do is not put the same greens beside each other. Unless that's what you're really hoping to achieve, you know, same colors everywhere, which I've done before. Okay. And then, oh, hello. Yes, Filipino po tayo. Thank you for the likes. So, I have a YouTube channel also. It's Rosanne Araneta. Okay, Rosanne Araneta is also my .com. So you can check and see what I do with my life. Pre-pandemic and pandemic. Okay, just going to keep turning my page around. And keep adding. Oh, let's see. Maybe we can have big leaves. Why? Because we can. And really, who cares what they're called? But this is called variety. We have different shapes. And this is called surprising yourself. Okay. Okay, thank you for the likes. And this way, we fill up the pages. Not faster, but we fill them up. Okay, let's go for another green. This time it's called number 13. Has no name. Okay, just it's called 13. So we say 13. And here we do this. Maybe one more here. There. Okay, I'll just keep going and going and going until all our leaves are with their flower friends. Hello, Fanny Maxis. Oh, thank you. Maganda daw ako. Yay. So, Precious, how old are you? Are you a painter? Are you also into painting and art? Or ano ka lang? Napadaan. Okay. Sino si Maxis? Bakit fan mo siya? Fan ka niya? Siyempre, I'm interested. Love the painting. Oh, thank you. Okay, I'll just keep going. So, I'm turning the page around. Okay, wait. For those who just arrived, dali, move natin yung mga bagay-bagay. Here on top, I'm adding to a pile, medyo dumami na, of past works that I've done. Ayan, paano yan? Mga ganyan. Then, let me show you. Ta-dan! Blue lang kung sa blue. Okay. So, keep going. Let's finish this painting. Okay. Dagdag tayo dito. Turn the paper around and keep going. Yan, no? May pock nut dyan. So, So, takpan dahil may time. Okay. Kakain lang. Ah, sure, walang kaso. Go, go, go. Thanks for watching. Hi, Izay. Yan. Oh, let's change na. Since Izay joined, I'm going to add another painting on top. Yan. So, these are the possibilities. Nice naman po ng paint art niyo. Oh, thanks. Yan. Thank you. Thank you for the appreciation po. Does it look finished? Does it look like it needs more? Actually, second to the last step na to eh. Pero, meron pa rin mga poknat. So, I try to cover areas that... Okay, ano ang magandang... what's this? Motto. Lagyan ko nga ng something dito sa gitna. Anong pwede nyong i-suggest na motto? Or dahil Sunday, pwede namang Bible verse, okay lang sa akin. O kaya, motivational quote. Dagdagan ko pa to ng calligraphy. Let me know, baka meron kayong suggestion. Lagay ko. Ayan. Masaya na ba tayo? Hindi pa. Gusto ko pang Dagdag ng ano, lagay tayo ng berry cherries. Ano ang berry cherries? Aba, mga small circles. Okay, usually I do them in threes kasi wala, mas maganda. So start small para there's option to get bigger. Ang pangit, kainis. Ganun talaga. So forgive yourself. Painting lang siya. Pwede naman mag-painting ulit. Okay? Dahil malaki yan, o di lalakihan ko to. That's what I mean by starting small. Okay, hanap tayo ng mga areas na kailangan ng berries. Dito. Where flowers bloom, so does hope. O sige, gawin ko yan. Where flowers bloom, so does hope. Okay. Teka lang ha. Okay, lalagay natin. Where flowers bloom, so does hope. Tapusin ko lang po to, tapos gawan natin ng quote sa gitna. Okay, so lahat ng mga interior designer friends ko sinasabi, kailangan, if you're going to put ganito, mga fillers, in threes, kaya, or, no, mali, odd numbers. Kaya, dinalayan ko 3. Okay, almost done. Last step before I put, where flowers bloom, so does hope. Okay. Ngayon, yung gitna nung mismong mga flowers, dadagdagan ko ng stamen at saka pollen. Okay, so I'm mixing lang. Usog ko na yung mga ibang paints na hindi ko gagamitin. So nagmix ako ng ganire. Okay, dark purple. I'm going to use this for the center of most of the flowers. So, dut-dut lang ang katapat. For those watching, I'm just finishing up the flowers by putting centers. Maybe this will tie up all the different colors together because the center item is the same for all of them. Okay, and I'm using a dark purple that I mixed from all these previous colors that I've used. That way, I don't waste paint. And again, the colors just somehow there's cohesion. The colors are matching one another You don't know why, you don't know how, but because of that fact, okay, your eye is drawn to the flowers, and you're asking yourself why. Again, because the colors are have a unifying color, which is the center color. So it's more subconscious than anything. Like in neuro-linguistic programming, you just figure out patterns. And this is one pattern that makes aesthetically pleasing paintings. And because they're aesthetically pleasing, you want to keep looking at them and admiring them. Okay. Let's change the painting on top. Here, see? I did the same with this one. And in this case, all the colors somehow get, not muted, but they all get the same center treatment. And you'll have to let me know if I've missed a spot. Sometimes I miss a spot. Okay, I'm staying away from the paper. I'm keeping my paintbrush long from where I'm holding it. I'm not holding it like a pencil. I'm holding it away. So I'm giving different parts of the paper a chance to dry, because I don't know which ones are still damp or wet. So I'm making sure there's time for them to all just dry up. Okay, have you all had your lunch? So today's a slow day. After my lunch, I'm going to prepare my living room. I'm going to be hosting a children's party on Zoom, so one of my other rackets. And the party is for a 7-year-old. There's a portion where I use my puppets. There's a portion where we finger paint. And there's a portion where I'm going to be doing Zumba Kids. Yes, I'm licensed to teach Zumba. Specifically, Zumba Fitness, Zumba Centao, Zumba Toning, Aqua Zumba, Zumba Kids, Zumba Gold. Ano pa ba? Basta, 6 of them. 6 programs out of 9 programs. So anyway, we're going to be dancing to Zumba later. And as a party host, those are the things that I'm able to provide. Okay, so here we are. We have a painting. Ay, teka. Let me finish this one. This one needs a center that is a little happier. I'll go with a creamy yellow. A moment, please. Okay. Creamy yellow. Not much to look at for the moment. I had to wait for the brown paint to dry. Now that it's creamy yellow, I'll go back to the purple and mark the edges. Just the edges. See, it pops out when you do contrasting colors. By the way, these not are only contrasting. These are complementary colors. So yellow and purple, just like the wizard in Enchanted Kingdom. Haha, it's a Filipino place of fun. Yeah, it's like an amusement park, yeah. And that is still closed because of the current pandemic situation here. Now I'm going to be intentional. I'm going to use black. Okay, on the outermost area. So the purple is going to stay purple. And then I'm going to have random faraway dots. There. Okay. So, painting is almost done. All I need to do is write, where flowers bloom, so does hope. Thank you, Kuya Ferds, for what's this, for the suggestion. Okay, let's give it maybe a minute. I'm going to change my wreath here on top for the moment. Hi, Hazel. So I'm almost done painting this. Here's another picture you can enjoy. Aha, I noticed something. I'm not done pa pala. I'm going to have cherry handles. How's that? I'm just going to anchor the cherry to something because they look weird just floating. Okay. So now they're like on sticks. Okay, just letting the paint dry so I can write my message. Because if it's wet, my arm's going to mess it up, and I don't want, you know, my Sunday chill out session to get messy. Okay, so I think all the cherries have been stemmed, and now the end is near. Okay, let me just move stuff around because I have to write again, where flowers bloom, so does hope. So I'm looking for the wet spots. I don't want to mess up the work. Okay, wait. Let's move things aside to give space for my arm to work on. Can you see that? Okay. And here I go. Where flowers bloom, so does hope. I just need to space things out. Give me a moment. So maybe 2 lines. Where flowers bloom, so does hope. Okay. Here we go. Are you dry yet? No, not yet. I just have to make a little bit. I just have to be mindful. Okay, here we go. Where flowers bloom, so does hope. Okay. Kailangan kumasya. So does. I'm afraid. Wait, I have to figure out. Okay, I'm going to use a roll of what's this? stickers so I can lift my arm over the these. So does Hope. Ayan. Where flowers bloom, so does hope. Thank you very much for watching. Okay, so I will see you all next time. Kindly follow, and I hope you enjoyed my first ever live. Okie dokes. All right, bye.